Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to my webinar series on manifestation. Just wanted to let you guys know I did record this in January of 2017. I'm now offering it online for everyone to have access to. So don't let the dates throw you. There's a lot of great information in here on manifestation, and I hope that you enjoy the series. Thanks so much. Bye bye. Welcome to the Manifesting New Beginnings webinar series. Thank you for joining me. In this first episode, I'll be discussing the new 9-year cycle that began on January 1st, 2017. This 9-year cycle is based on numerology. There are only 9 basic numbers. Every variation beyond 9 is a variation of the original 9. For example, if you add up January 2017, 1 plus 2017 equals 10, then 1 plus 0 equals 1. 1 is the starting point. 1 is the seed, the individual, the self. This year is all about learning how to love yourself. This year, you will have experiences to teach you how to accept yourself by learning your own brand of uniqueness, learning who you are as an individual, and learning your true feelings. This year, you will experience profound changes in self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is not only brings inner peace, but outer peace as well. 2016 was the year we closed the door on the previous 9-year cycle. 2016 was all about releasing the past years of 2007 through 2015. It's why so many of you experienced challenges which triggered unresolved emotions, forced you to deal with situations you've avoided, and pushed you to close the door on many areas in your life. In order to plant the seeds for your next 9-year cycle so you can manifest your heart's desires, you must close the door on the last 9 years. If you refuse to complete unfinished business, reach conclusions, or tie up loose ends, you will not be able to recognize new opportunities. The more you try to create something new without having let go of the old, the more resistance life will bring you. And you'll be stuck in a cycle of reliving the past over and over again. In order for you to begin planting the seeds and manifesting what you want for this new 9-year cycle, which runs from 2017 to 2026, you want to be sure you've closed the door on 2012 to 2016. So for your first exercise, I want you to take a couple of days to review whether or not you have unresolved issues from your past that need to be resolved. Create a list of things you've been too afraid to close the door on. For example, maybe you're still going back and forth with your ex, breaking up and getting back together. Or maybe you really hate your job, but you haven't done anything about it. You kind of just stay, you know? Or maybe you want to move, but you haven't because you're afraid to go check out new areas, or it's just easier to stay where you are. Maybe you want to quit a bad habit. Whatever it is, sit and be with yourself so that you can figure out what it is that you have been too afraid to close the door on. We all have something that we need to release and let go. So take a couple of days and sort that out and write those things down. Be honest and be real. Nobody's going to see your list. Just create it. So one of those things that holds us back is change. So change sounds simple, right? But in reality, the mere thought of change keeps us from taking action, has us feeling anxious, it has us doubting ourselves, and makes us feel guilty for wanting something better for our life. Change is scary. I know, but feel the fear and do it anyway. Your feelings are the catalyst to your personal freedom, even fear. A great acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. Change is scarier in your head than it is in reality. You're just afraid of the unknown. So instead you choose to do so, excuse me, instead you choose to do the same things over and over again because it feels safe, because you know what to expect. You've gotten complacent, you've gotten comfortable, and that comfortable feeling is what is keeping you stuck, unhappy, and rehashing the same mistakes, all the while blaming others for your misery. So maybe even some of you tell yourselves you're not afraid of change, but find excuses as to why you aren't making changes. You have nothing to lose by making change in your life. But before you can change anything, you have to figure out what you actually want to change. Your second exercise is to take a couple of days to give some thought to what you actually want to change in your life. Are you unhappy in a relationship? Do you stress eat? Whatever comes to mind, write it down. This list will most likely reflect some of the items that is on your first list from the first exercise about what you need to close the door on. And that's okay. There's no right or wrong answer. The most important thing is that you are actually becoming aware of and acknowledging what you want to close the door on and what you want to change in your life. Be real with yourself. If you're not, manifesting your dreams will be much more difficult to achieve. If you feel resistance to doing these exercises, it's a clear sign you're afraid. It's okay. Just feel the fear, feel the frustration, work through any emotions that may come up during this process. Letting those feelings actually flow through you is just as important. So if you're feeling any resistance, just feel it. They must be allowed to flow through you and release. So once you do that and once you feel better, give it another shot to create your list. It's no big deal. This is at your own pace. Don't beat yourself up. This is your journey. You're going to get there, okay? Beating yourself up is counterintuitive. So just make sure that you feel guided to move forward. And if you're not, that means you're not meant to move forward yet. You're meant to, let this simmer a little bit and work on this list. Another important aspect to manifestation is actually knowing what you want. This can be challenging. So many choices and decisions. Welcome to the human experience. I mean, that's what life is. That's why you're on this planet, is to choose, to make choices, to have experiences. And those choices are free will. And with that free will, you get to create whatever life it is that you want. So if you don't know what you want, you'll spend your entire life feeling deprived, disappointed, lack, resentment, and difficulty solving problems in your life. Even if you do know what you want, there's a good possibility you feel uncomfortable admitting it to yourself, much less expressing it to others clearly. So why do we have this hang up about acknowledging, expressing, and asking for what we want? We grew up suppressing our desires. We learned this at a really, really young age. So early in childhood, we learned it from our parents, teachers, and other adults and our peers. It's ingrained in our brains and belief that gets reinforced time and time again. For example, we learned wanting is selfish and that we should always make sure others' wants come before our own. So maybe your mother may have told you to be nice, let your brother play with that toy. So now you have the belief that you not sharing or you wanting to play with that toy is selfish. So now you've just created that belief, and now you're going to consistently in your life, you're going to do for others more than you do for yourself. We also learned wanting isn't okay. Maybe your dad may have said, don't even ask me for a ride to the mall to get to your friend's house, or, I'm not your chauffeur. Okay, well, so now you are rejected and you're afraid to even ask in the future. Like it's a burden to ask your dad to give you a ride somewhere, or ask your mom, or whatever the case is. So again, this is a belief that's created early on, and now you believe it's not okay to ask for what you want. Next, we learned we want too much. So maybe your mom may have said, yeah, of course you can't have that purse. Do you think I'm made of money? Right? So I'm sure we've all heard that. I know I heard that. And again, because we're told that, and being young, we have no frame of reference. We don't understand. So we automatically assume what we're asking for is way too much. Again, so now we're bringing this into our lives on a daily basis as adults. And if we don't recognize these things, we will continue to attract and create our lives based on these false beliefs. Okay, another one could be we learned if we get what we want, then someone else will have to go without, right? God forbid that there's not enough for everyone to have in the world, but that's not true. Again, this is a belief that was created by others. It's not reality. There's enough abundance and resources on this planet for everyone. And just because not everyone is experiencing those things doesn't mean they don't exist, and it doesn't mean that you aren't entitled to them. Again, it's all about how you believe and create your reality on a day to day basis. So, the third and final exercise for you to do is to get clear about what you want. Take as much time as you need, create your list of wants, let yourself be free and as far out there as you want with your desires. Do you want to be rich? Do you want to be a parent? Do you want to ever get married? Or do you want to explore your sexuality? Whatever it is, write it down, get it out of your head and onto paper. It's freedom. Express yourself. Don't repress yourself. Get it out. Don't be afraid to want big things. Dream big. It's okay. So, and if you're struggling figuring out what you want, then make a list of what you don't want. Sometimes that comes a little bit easier because unfortunately it's kind of how, again, we were raised or brought up. We have a tendency to focus on the negative aspects more. We have a tendency to focus on things that we don't like versus focusing on the things that we actually do like. So if that comes a little bit easier, then make a list of don't wants. And if you're feeling so inclined, for those of you that want to make a list of both, go for it. It can't hurt. And again, there are no rules to this. There's no right or wrong. When it comes to you, it's your life, your choices. You're the boss of you and no one else. So feel free to do whatever resonates with you best. I would say that once you create your lists of don't wants, work on changing them into wants. Because again, we'll get into this in future episodes. You want to be clear on what it is that you want so that we can create that versus what we don't want. But again, if this exercise is challenging for you, focus on what you don't want, and then we'll switch it around and make those negatives into some positives. Now, before we close out this episode, I'd like to energetically open up your chakras to allow you to be able to connect with your higher self in order to bring into your awareness the areas you want to close the door on, things in your life you want to change, and the things that you actually want for yourself. So I'd like you to close your eyes, open your palms, tell yourself you're open to receive, then take a couple of deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Then relax until I tell you to open your eyes. And we'll have a moment of silence. And again, just be open to receive. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth, and do that a few times. And I'm just going to lovingly send you some energy and ask your guides and higher self to energetically open you up as well so that we can bring into your awareness all that we just discussed. Okay, so bring your awareness back to the room and open your eyes. And now, once you have completed all three of your lists and or all three of your exercises, if you purchase the webinar series on its own, and once you've completed your list, reach out to me either via email at askrebeccatoday@gmail.com, or you can call or text me at 407-374-3133. and I will send you the link to the next episode so that you can get to work on that. Now, if you purchase the series that included the coaching sessions, the 30-minute coaching sessions after each video, then once you complete your exercises, I would like you to reach out to me so you and I will have a 30-minute in-person Skype or phone session to discuss anything that you may be struggling with, any questions you may have, and to review your list so we can get to the root cause of any blockages. And once you and I complete our session, at that time, you'll receive the link to episode 2 to move on to the next steps in the Manifesting New Beginnings series. Again, to schedule your appointment or get the next link, please reach out to me at askrebeccatoday@gmail.com, or you can call or text 407-374-3133. I look forward to speaking to you soon. I wish you the best of luck. If you have any problems, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thanks.